and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to yet another Seven Brothers. Yes indeed, that is how ridiculous the box of beers that Seven Brothers sent me was. Link up there if you want to see more of them. That we have, well, I'm not even sure we're halfway, but we've done a lot and we're going to do a lot more. This one is a passion fruit pale. Now, I'm in two minds on this one. Every pale or IPA I've had from Seven Brothers so far has been mind-bogglingly good, basically. Passion fruit, I do enjoy. It's sweet and it kind of tastes like candy. My concern is that, is this going to be too sweet? Is this going to be, I don't want to name the brewery because a lot of people like them, but is this going to be akin to a sour that is arguably not really a beer? Let's find out. But before we do, here is a quick look at the can, of course. Some lovely artwork, as always, from Seven Brothers. Nice tropical vibes there. Looks very appealing, let's be honest. I did just accidentally drop this beer. Not very far, just over on the counter. So I was expecting it to go a bit crazy, but actually it's behaving quite nicely. Look at that. It's not even a crummy pour. Well. From a distance, I can tell something fruity has been opened, but it's not like smacking me around the face. And that is also, to be honest, a bit of a consistency with Seven Brothers beers. There's a lot of carbonation in that glass streaming up from the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus. There we go. So, good, well carbonated. It's got a nice thick white head on it. Doesn't seem to be disappearing too quickly. And yeah, slightly lighter under these lights than it looks on the camera for you, I believe. But all in all, that's pretty good representation. So, how does it smell? Had you not told me this was passion fruit and asked me to smell it, I'd have said it was a fruity beer. Lightly fruited. No, I might have picked it up actually. It's just obvious enough on the nose that it is passion fruit, and it doesn't give anything else away. As with several others of the Seven Brothers beers, no obvious hop. Tell a lie. There's a touch of hop coming through, but there's no malt coming through. Doesn't smell particularly beery. Doesn't smell particularly boozy. It smells more than anything just like a fruited, carbonated drink. Not necessarily beer. But we've been here before and been blown away, so let's not discard it just yet. Let's find out. Cheers. It's far from disappointing. I feel like I'm going to need a moment to really get my head around this one. It's not immediately as breathtaking as the others. And I have been saying for a while that I kind of want a Seven Brothers beer to be a bit critical about, because it just feels like I'm not giving an honest review because they sent them me for free, which I very much appreciate. I think I found one that I might be able to nitpick, but it's going to be done a bit in jest because it tastes delicious, but I'm not sure it tastes like beer, which was always the risk. I think passion fruit in particular was always going to lead this way because it's quite a bold and sweet flavour, which means picking out the base beer elements is actually quite difficult, and I think that might be what we've got here. Now, it's a far cry from a, let's call it a smoothie sour, that's just alcoholic fruit juice brewed like beer. This clearly is beer. I mean, look at it. It looks like beer. It smells a bit like beer, but it doesn't really taste like beer. Now, Mrs. Crummy Beard isn't in the house today, otherwise I would get her to verify these thoughts for me, because she doesn't like beer at all and can pick up on it even when I say this tastes nothing like beer. And we don't always agree on what constitutes beery or not, if that makes sense. So sometimes I say it tastes nothing like beer and she tells me it's awful. Sometimes I say you might like it, but I think it's a bit beery. And then she tells me that she quite enjoys it. So, but we can't run that test, unfortunately. So let's just do a top to bottom taste test and see how this develops as we drink it. Quite neutral on the front of the tongue, a bit of light carbonation. I was going to say it's sweet, but it's not really, and it's not bitter. It's more like a bit of a cream soda sensation almost. Like you get that. The body's not super thick, but it's got quite a creamy edge to it. I don't think this has got lactose in, and it's a bit clear for oats or wheat. But anyway, we'll find out. But yeah, a bit of kind of a cream soda vibe up front. Second phase, very much that light acidity, slight sour edge that you get from passion fruit. You can tell instantly where it's going, where it's come from, that it is passion fruit based. Kind of just up the sides of the tongue almost, if that makes sense. If you're familiar with passion fruit, you kind of know what I mean. And then you get the full lick, top to bottom, passion fruit sweetness, the earthiness from the seeds, pips, whatever you want to call them in a passion fruit. That whole passion fruit experience. That last phase is probably the sweetest point in the beer, and then it starts to rein it back in a little bit. A bit more sour, the tiniest amount of bitterness. It's not really bitter at all. And then the finish, it's quite neutral actually. It doesn't leave your mouth dry, doesn't leave it particularly refreshed and moist, for want of a better word, but it definitely eggs you on for another sip. So let's leave it there and take a look at the can. Seven Brothers passion fruit. It just says passion fruit all the way around it. It is 5%, 2.2 UK units in this 440ml can. Bursting with passion fruit aroma. This hazy pale is fruity and easy drinking. Oats and Dextrin malt provide a lingering sweetness for full body without being too heavy. Perfect for summer drinking and all year round. So it's oats and Dextrin malt that's giving it that kind of extra body, which in hindsight makes sense, but I always, slightly hazy I guess, so that might be, yeah, I thought it was clearer than that. So it does make sense. The allergens are malted barley, wheat and oats, drink aware, usual spiel, and that's everything. Sorry, of course, as on every can it says Seven Brothers Brewing Beer. That's right, each of us look at things a little differently, but the one thing we all agree on is brewing great tasting beer. sevenbrothers.com, the T is a 7, so as always, sevenbro7hers.com if you want the website. I don't know whether Seven Brothers spelt with the T actually forwards onto them. I would hope it does, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, described as juicy, fruity and sweet. I mean, they're not lying, it is absolutely that. It's a little bit too juicy and fruity for me not to enjoy. I think this is delicious. But if you're looking for a proper beer, and that ultimately is what we're looking for here, then it might fall a bit short in that area. But there are those days, and we all have them, whether we admit to it or not, where maybe you're a touch hungover, maybe you're just, I don't know, just not in the mood for something super bitter, super hoppy, super indulgent and malty, whatever it is, super fizzy, lager, whatever, where what you really would fancy is something on the sweeter side, but not quite as synthetic as an alco pulp or a spirit and mixer. This sits quite nicely in that middle ground, in that it's so easy to drink, but is definitely a beer, but just doesn't quite taste like it. If that makes any sense at all, that's really the best I can do with the description. Has it changed at all? Passion fruit's amped up on the nose now a bit, now it's been open. And there's a hint of a bit more hop in the back end of that now. Just a little bit, just pulling it back into beer territory a touch, but it's taken a while. So I think we will leave it there. It's a cracking drink, just be aware that if a true beer is what you're after, that might not be it. But on the switch side, go and try one because it's absolutely delicious as a summer drink. And that is everything. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you will be so kind. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.